Hey there, guys and gals. There's one of us missing, but 3 of us moved Comic-Con this year. Somebody's here with me, and they're hiding.
Hey!
Oh my god, you look so dark.
That I do. Black as midnight. How's it going?
We went for 3 days, me and Graham, but Bauer came for 2, and then pussed out because reasons.
No, he felt that Sunday wasn't compelling enough. He went with us last year, all 3 days, and he was bored out of his skull on his final day. So he elected not to go this year for 3 days. He went Friday and Saturday.
I love how tired I look compared to you because no one can see your face.
Exactly.
I'm using my... You guys are going to be like, what's wrong with the video? This quality is weird. I'm using my phablet, leave me alone. I didn't bring the camcorder, didn't even think of it. And then I was like, I'm staying at someone's house. Yeah. Usually I show you guys all the loot I got, but if you want to see the loot...
That's going to be in a separate video. He's unfortunately packed up most of that stuff.
Yeah.
But we do share quite a bit of the loot in common, so he'll be able to show you some of my shit that I have left around.
Yeah. But do you have one of the posters that
Just so you know,
you?
I'm Grimjack.
You do have it out here. The first panel we went to, so this year they opened up Madison Square Garden to New York Comic Con, which is awesome. Because it pushed people away from us.
And it spread out a lot of the stuff. There wasn't too much of you getting screwed out of panels this year.
And the first thing we saw in Madison Square Garden was the uprising of my penis for Pacific Rim 2.
Pacific Rim Uprising. Not Pacific Rim 2.
It's Pacific Rim my penis.
Yeah.
Penis Rising. It was amazing.
It was a lot of fun. They had a lot of the principal cast there. We got to see John Boyega, the fucking guy from Star Wars, Finn.
As Charlie Day would call him, that guy from Star Wars.
Yeah. It was pretty great.
I also really thought the other science officer besides Charlie Day was like a clone of Willem Dafoe.
Oh, Herman Gottlieb?
Yeah, and now I definitely think he's a clone of Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, he has that same kind of scrunched up face, but, he's a really good actor. He was on Torchwood. That's like a Doctor Who spinoff that had intermittent quality, because some episodes were amazing, and then other episodes were shit, with shit CG and shit writing.
And then they also brought it to America for 1 season.
Yeah, and that was Miracle Day that everyone fucking hated.
Yeah.
That's like universally reviled.
Yeah. So that wasn't nearly as fun. And then what else did we do Friday?
Friday we saw...
We made marks because we...
I'm sorry, because it was a fucking blur. We did a lot of shit in 3 days.
We actually barely stayed on the show floor this year.
Which is weird for us. We did, however, get to play Dragon Ball FighterZ, and that was fun.
Dragon Ball FighterZ is so good. Oh,
well, that was fun for him. That was fun for him. Well, it's just me getting my ass pounded.
You have to send me footage because you have he has the very beginning of a fight between me and Bauer.
I'll send him my little 30 seconds of footage before then I was pulled off the line. Howdy ho, folks. This is Grimjack here, and we're observing Kage Okame and Jack Bauer's first DBZ Fighters match. Wave hi to the cameras, fellas. Hello. Then we played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite with the new characters before their release, which was also fun. FYI, Black Panther is a bastardized cross between Sabretooth and Wolverine. Have fun with that. No projectiles.
No projectiles, but his basic hyper combo has an enormous hitbox behind his back.
That fucking stuns the shit out of me.
It has the biggest hit stun I've ever seen in a move, ever.
It was fucking ridiculous. I did, however, manage to sandwich him in between two characters and fucking pummeled him.
After I killed your Captain Marvel, you brought her back to life.
And
you were controlling both of them,
yes.
And I was just getting wailed on.
Sandwiched! I still fucking lost.
And they changed it back to Marvel vs. Capcom 2's control scheme with 2 punches, 2 kicks, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was still going to be special button, heavy, light, medium, heavy.
More or less.
What are the games? Oh, we played Bloodstained as well.
Yes, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which I kickstarted. So I'm eagerly awaiting that game. The game seems fun. All the weapons seem really, really fucking slow for no reason.
Yeah, like, and I noticed, like, when you jump attack, like, in normal platformers where there's, like, attacking moves, when you jump attack, like, if you hit the floor before the animation ends, it just abruptly ends the animation, and, like, you start doing a recovery animation. In Bloodstained, if you jump and you're too low to the ground to swing your weapon in full, the command just doesn't work and you can't attack. And I was like, oh, this is fucking real hard.
Yes, yes,
it is. And they actually let us fight the boss, which I'm very happy about because in a lot of games nowadays, like you get a demo, it ends right before the boss, and I hate that convention. No, I want to fight it.
You fight, you killed the boss, and you got a power from the boss, and we didn't get a chance to see what it was. It ended right when it got used to.
Even though it's like very Castlevania-y, there's this weird dynamic where if you kill the same enemy enough times, you can throw out a crystallized version of them.
I had no idea about that.
If you kill the Dullahan heads, it becomes a passive where the Dullahan head crystallized follows you around, and it'll like smash its face into people. If you kill the bloodstained monkeys enough times,
they became a projectile. That much I remember.
Like you hit Y and they would jump out. And it said when you killed the knights that I got a power from them, but I couldn't figure out how to activate it. I wasn't sure if like there was because part of the start menu was grayed out.
Yeah, so you couldn't even see what you were doing really.
I think one of the gray outs was summoned. So
yeah.
They let you equip different weapons, which I thought was really cool. I figured it would just be like...
You had to just keep searching for the fucking weapons. Yeah. Looking everywhere. And, you know,
there were a lot of secret passages.
A lot of weapons everywhere.
And, like, a lot of different weapons. Like, I wouldn't have expected that.
And it's funny, because I want to really love the Claymores because I love the size and reach of the damn things, and they do a lot of damage, but they're so slow. And then you got, like, the only weapons that are viable are the short sword, the rapier, and the fucking knife. All the other weapons are super slow.
I used the spear against the boss.
Oh, and I guess the Chinese shoes are viable too? Because
they're basically grief edges. Yeah.
The Kung Fu shoes is what they're called. And you just start doing all these, like, Kung Fu kicks, which I thought was adorable.
The one thing I didn't check was I didn't figure out if the backstep command gave you iframes.
I have no idea.
Like, I wasn't sure if you were supposed to backstep away from the attacks, or if you were supposed to backstep through them, a la Dark Souls or something.
You were probably supposed to backstep away from them knowing this game.
Because it's one of those games where if an enemy touches you, you take damage.
Yeah.
That's not a convention I like, but I understand it, at least.
I'm alright with that, because it's like you're fighting supernatural monsters, so I imagine they all have like a corrupting field or something around them. So it makes sense. Like, if it's a game where it's like, oh no, this is just some bald ugly dog. I touched it, but, you know, it hasn't bitten. I should be fine.
Again, they had a huge area to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In.
And there were people playing.
There were people playing, and I'm just like, I've never heard anyone be like, there's a clamoring for Yu-Gi-Oh! Matches at Comic-Con. Like,
no, it's just one of those things where it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a fandom that never really goes away. It's like, it has the staying power of Magic the Gathering, it'll just never be as popular.
Yeah.
Because the games are deep, and they make a lot of sense, and there's a lot of proper rules to it. It's why it works. The problem is, it's just never going to be as popular as Magic the Gathering, and Konami's run by asshats.
Yeah. Never true.
Like, they don't believe in any of their video game properties now, and they're just trying to make a quick buck off of them instead of making new games.
There was also Code Vein at the booth, but none of us played. I forgot what the camera is. They handed out this big poster, not at the booth, though. They were, like, just handing them out at the end, which I'm wondering if it was, like, it was supposed to be for people who beat the demo.
Nah, but we just took it anyway.
They were just like, you want a poster? And we were like, heck yeah. The next thing we saw that day was Harbinger Wars 2. If you guys read Valiant,
Yes.
Harbinger Wars 2 is coming out. It seems like it's Livewire versus the Valiant universe.
Pretty much. It's all... Because Harbinger Wars was the very first across the universe event for Valiant that brought all of their characters together in one go, with the exception of Archer and Armstrong and Quantum and Woody. Those two sets of characters sat out, but every other character dogpiled into this. And, you know, take notes, Marvel. They got it done in 4 fucking issues and didn't drag it out.
And the new one's going to be 4 or 6 issues?
4 issues.
Again.
Take notes, Marvel. They got it done.
They're not going to take them.
Marvel's gonna put like a 47-issue fucking summer event and it's gonna suck. At least they're still better than DC. DC put out Final Crisis and I still don't. Like 10 years later, I don't know what the fuck went on in that book. Like, I was waiting to find Grant Morrison at Comic-Con at its heavy metal panel. Like, explain to me Final Crisis.
No.
Explain to me Infinite Crisis. Explain to me your last 2 runs in Action Comics and Batman. I don't understand anything you have written in the last 20 years. How much pot have you smoked, sir?
And then every day there was an image panel with a slightly varied name, but I assume they're actually all the same panel.
No, I think it's just they're talking about different books.
We went to the one on Friday, and I don't remember anything from it at all because I don't really care about Image. Like, I mean, they had The Walking Dead.
I care about Image, and I remember some things from it because but the problem with that is there was nothing aside from the art of that one book that grabbed my attention. It was the one book that had the LGBT author and writer creative team.
Oh.
I remember that book, Bingo Love.
Bingo Love. Yeah, I do remember Bingo Love.
I remember that because it had great art.
It also seems like
it's a slice of life Archie book, and the reason it stuck with me is because the creator was sincere, and the creator knows what the fuck she's writing. Also, again, take notes, Marvel.
No,
I'm just a small rant. The creator of Bingo Love, I have respect for because she's writing a book about something she wants to write about. Half of the guys at Marvel are all writing books about, like, superheroes, but they've turned it into, like, these weird Archie comics, and all the characters are these flat, one-dimensional characters that don't do anything except whine.
There's way too many new age artists, writers for Marvel. Their whole Twitter feeds are just like, the patriarchy, my comic book's different than yours. Yeah,
and they're all the same. Let me tell you something about a little travesty I like to call the Iceman book. The Iceman is a founding X-Men. He's one of the most powerful mutants on the planet, and he happens to be gay. His entire book is that I'm gay, I'm sad. It's not that I'm gay, but it doesn't really matter. I'm a badass superhero. I'm dealing with superhero problems. It's like, no, I'm gay. I'm just dealing with problems.
I wish they could just go back to him being like, nah, I'm afraid of my own powers. Nah, I preferred that. When Emma took him over.
I honestly don't care either way because he was a funny and really cool and powerful
The only time that I care about him being whiny is when he's like, I don't know if I can use my powers like that. And everyone else is like, dude, you built a city out of ice. You could make living snowmen. You make literal abominable snowmen and they're sentient. That's not a normal mutant power, bro. And he's like, I don't know. But everything else, he'd been like, getting that puss. And
it's not even that. It's not even that they made a character that was straight through like 40 years gay. It's the fact that they made him being gay like the single most important defining trait about him, above everything else. To the point where it's like, oh my fucking god, no one cares. No one cares. He's a superhero. Because the whole thing is, if you're going to do these LGBT books and make these characters gay and all this and that, being gay is a part of them. It's not everything about them. That is the problem. You're making it everything about them. You're making the entire book, they're gay. That's the whole book. It's like no one cares at Marvel. At Marvel, they're superheroes. We care about them doing superhero stuff.
Like, you can have the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who aren't superheroes, but they still deal with them.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much the crux of the label.
Exactly. And it's like, this drives me crazy because it's like, stop it.
We didn't go to the Tick on Saturday, but we just actually finished watching the Tick, the first.
And it's pretty amazing.
It's so good.
It's pretty fun.
I just choked on G Fuel powder. What the hell? Why is it still in my throat?
We had a drink called G Fuel, which is like this caffeined up super Gatorade, and stuff is pretty damn strong.
The mystery flavor is basically just powder. Like they definitely did not mix the mystery flavor.
No.
And we happened to be walking by while they were refilling the green apple one, and the dude missed the powder at first, and it turned into a cloud of powder around the booth, and I was like, if we snort this, we'll get really, really high.
I'm just telling you, I'm gonna go to work and just snort wine to G Fuel like it's like it's fucking Coke. Just be like, yeah.
Like it's pretty strong stuff. And most of the flavors are pretty okay, actually.
Yeah, no, right. Particularly pink lemonade and pineapple tend to be the best because they're the ones that taste the most like normal. The problem with G Fuel is G Fuel has 25 grams of sugar, so that means there's like everything tastes like it's diet. You know, so it's like you're drinking a diet lemonade, and it's like like I need this a little bit sweeter, and this would be perfect.
Also, some of the flavors have a lot of the powdered kick.
Yes, I wouldn't call it powder kick, but like energy drink aftertaste or the diet aftertaste. Like they're more readily, it's more present in some of the other drinks like fruit punch. Fruit punch had a very heavy diet aftertaste.
Yeah. He's not wearing his skull mask anymore because he got those pecan and
and
they were
the hat.
surprisingly affordable.
I got the mask, the goggles, and the hat all at the time.
You got the mask, the hat, and the goggles.
And like
No, sorry. The hat, the goggles. No, lies. I'm just a liar tonight. He got the goggles and the mask and the pocket watch for $30.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
They had a gas mask, but it was $40 and no. But we started Saturday with the Voltron panel. If you guys haven't been keeping up with Voltron, I have not. He has, Bauer has.
It is damn good. I've been liking it. It's basically, if you have a big hole in your life that's been blown into your life because of Legend of Korra, go over and watch Voltron on Netflix. It's made by the same people who made Korra, not the show creators, not Brian and Mike, whatever the fuck their names are. But this is by the same studio that made
Joaquin Dos Santos, though, is one of the... He helped make the Korra TV show, and he works on this show, too.
Yes. And it's just a lot of fun and coolness.
And who doesn't love giant robots?
Yeah. You know, I'm just saying, best character, Lance. Boom!
If you don't like giant robots, I mean, you came to the wrong neighborhood.
Best character, Lance. He's the main.
I don't know, the smart chick seems really awesome.
What, Pidge?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pidge.
At least now she seems awesome.
Pidge is the girl in this one. And it's like, that really doesn't matter. Still does the job.
Yeah. She got that cool, like, laser grappling hook.
It's like a laser grappling hook whip.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
You know who else has a laser whip? You guys have probably already seen the trailer. They released the trailer right after they showed it to us in the panel.
Fucking Pacific Rim Uprising?
Yeah, the Asian one has a whip.
Was that the one with the fucking metal ball chain to it?
No, that's the new Russian one.
Oh, God.
They tried to say that in Uprising it's going to be that it's a coalition. Like, it's not like the Australian Jaeger,
like
the American Jaeger. It's like everyone's working together now.
Well, I'm not sure if that's entirely true because the trailer showed us some things that are questionable. Because it's a Jaeger fighting another Jaeger. What is going on?
And it's got a different color scheme.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think that there are evil Jaegers in this movie.
That's what I'm thinking too, and I'm kind of excited for that. I'm kind of excited that this is 10 years of peacetime. It's 10 years of peacetime. People are just using the technology for assholes.
Yeah. And they were like, people are just, scavenging up old Jaeger parts that are lying around and building their own Jaegers in their backyard. And I'm like,
what are you people doing?
Like, that's very dangerous work, sirs. You should probably.
They're all fucking around with like nuclear reactors and shit. I'm like, no,
that's not what I pick up. Nope.
Like, you thinking about the Superior PSA? He's like, that's probably radioactive and you all have cancer.
Oh god, that tastes like cancer.
Yeah, pumpkin spice. How do you do that?
Oh, speaking of Avatar, we also went to the comic elements of Avatar.
Yes, and we got to talk to the writers and creators of that. And it's like, yeah.
We got to see
I started reading the book, and it's not bad.
We got to meet the artist. I think Irene Coe is her name.
Yeah.
And Janet Varney, the voice of Korra, was there as well.
Not bad. Not a bad show.
I wasn't expecting Janet Varney to be there, considering it was the comic books.
Yeah.
And, like, somebody had even asked, like, do you have any input? And she was like, why would I have input? Like,
yeah.
I might be the voice of the character, but, like, I didn't make the story.
I didn't write any of the scripts or nothing.
Oh. And then, if you guys look up the hashtag Funimation Peep Show.
Oh my god.
We went to the Funimation Peep Show on Saturday night.
That was like the highlight of the fucking weekend, because they stuffed a bunch of us together, and we're all like terrible nerds and perverts, and we're just watching this. They
basically like showed promos and trailers for
like all of the ecchi, risque, and sometimes outright hentai.
Yeah, and they had like a burlesque girl was the host who apparently does this for Funimation.
Yeah, and they put up the Twitter feed on there, and everybody's tweeting, and it's like the funniest thing.
Yeah,
we're watching that, and we're laughing at the Twitter feed, and the shit on the screen is funny and arousing, and the shit on the Twitter feed is hysterical.
One of my favorite tweets by far was, "Yo, there are 5 guys within eyesight, within eye range of me right now that have boners."
My favorite is, oh god, what did I bring my mom to?
Yeah.
Another one was, this dude in the back with the pink hat needs to fucking go. He's out of control.
Yeah, there were so many tweets about Pink Hat Dude being the worst. Everyone at the end of the panel was like, where is this Pink Hat Dude? Where is he? He was wearing an all Kimberly outfit. From Power Rangers.
Yeah, he's a grown man wearing the girl Power Ranger suit and fucking pink outfit.
Hey, more power to him. I thought originally he was cosplaying Dave Chappelle's crackhead.
Oh, Tyrone?
There we go, Tyrone Biggums.
Oh, Jesus.
Because he kind of looked like Tyrone Biggums, but then he was wearing all Kimberly stuff, and I was like,
nah, he's just being a weirdo.
The cosplay was also amazing. I might be able to link you guys to some of the pictures. I might put like a little slideshow while we're talking in one of the corners of the stuff that we saw.
It should be pretty nice.
There was some really good cosplay there. Really creative cosplay, too.
There was a fucking kid walking around dressed as the Javits Center. The actual building.
Building.
He made himself a scale model of the Javits Center built, like, as a costume. Put the shit on and was walking around as the actual Javits Center. I thought that was brilliant. I was like, yeah. There was a fucking Lucio there, finally.
Yeah, there was a Lucio that he had the light-up shirts. That was, I realized that the first day, he hooked his gun into his phone by USB, and like you could see the levels of the music. Like he had the equalizer, a visualizer of his equalizer on the gun while he played music, and I was like, that's amazing. But the second day, he just had LEDs going in his gun, and he actually hooked his phone up to his shirt, and it had an equalizer on it, and was pumping out music. And he was on rollerblades, which I thought was super impressive.
Just rolling around. It was the craziest thing. I was like, yes!
There were quite a few less Harley Quinns this year than I expected to see.
Yeah. We saw a lot of, what's the most that we saw?
Witch Mercy?
Yeah.
There was like 10 million Witch Mercies.
There's a lot of Witch Mercies. We saw a lot of Spider-Gwens.
I'm okay with that. A couple Spider-Gwenums.
Yes.
Has Spider-Gwenum occurred in the comics
yet?
Oh, okay. Okay. I was going to say, has that happened yet?
Mm-hmm.
There was a dude, one of the booths was selling lithograph prints of Spider-Gwenum poses. And like, okay, well, I'm not saying the con stuff is cheap. Like most of the prints you get, like, do you have any here that are here? Do you have a print somewhere? We only have one cheap print in here.
Yeah.
Oh, these will be. Somebody just dropped 2 posters on the floor, so we got them. Grim took this one, which is a Deadpool party that Spider-Gwen does not want to go to, or does not want Harley Quinn to go to. That's super cool. Like prints like that, generally speaking, at the con
Or like $20.
will be 20. And this dude was selling his lithographs for $50 each. And not all of them are even as big as the regular prints that you get there. And we were just like, oh, okay, bye.
Yep.
We'll definitely come back later.
No, we didn't. Fucking outrageous.
There's only so much damage our wallets can take.
Like, I'm into your art, but not that much.
Yeah, no.
Fuck off.
I don't want to single-handedly run your Patreon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And they're like,
Time to pump the bricks.
But if you get 2, then it'll be like $10 off. And I was still like, no.
No, because that's $65 for 2 posters when I can get like 8 posters for the same price.
Yeah, no, I'm good. And if you wait till the very end of the con,
everything goes half price.
They're just like, get this out of my face. I don't want to see it ever again.
Yeah, no, because it's like, I don't want this inventory. I made all this inventory specifically for Comic-Con, man. Now I gotta bring all this shit back.
What else did we do on Saturday? After the Funimation Peep Show, we watched the first 2 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 Stardust Crusaders in English, and it's actually not terrible.
It's good. There's some things that they disagree with, but I thought it was really quite funny, especially with JoJo, because I'm a JoJo virgin. I don't know anything about JoJo. They talk about JoJo and Fate Stay Night all the time, and I know nothing about those 2 series. But to see it, I'm seeing Stardust Crusaders, and everyone tells me that's the best one to start with. It's the one that makes the most sense, and it brings in like the main character of JoJo. So I started it, and I'm watching the first 2 episodes, and all I can think is, I love Joseph, the grandfather, and I fucking hate Jotaro because I think he's a piece of shit and treats his mother wrong. Like, he talks to his mother like a pile of garbage.
And we keep trying to explain to him. What did that say?
I don't know. Something about video something, brother.
I probably said you're running out of space or something. I don't know. I've never made a video this long on this before. We're burning through gigabyte space too.
Jesus.
Awesome. But we keep trying to tell him that Jotaro has a heart of gold, and he's not having any of it.
He has a heart of iron pyrite, fool's gold. This man's an asshole. You know, I'm like, yo, you deserve, like, Dio deserves to put his foot square in your ass, buddy. Treat your mom like shit.
And his mom is like the nicest person on the planet.
She's an airhead, too.
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel bad.
They changed her hi to okay, which is honestly pretty acceptable.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't like the least that they changed about the dub, they changed
yeah.
just rah for each punch.
Yeah, as he punching the guy in the face, which I thought was fucking hysterical. He's like rah. And he's just nasty, and I was like, they were totally unprepared for my super punch you in the face until you die fighting technique. Thank you, Brick.
And
like, he has no finesse, no fighting style at all. It's just power through everything, grab. Like, he fights like he's fucking Bane. That's how he's like.
Everyone thinks that they've damaged him so hard, and he's just like,
nope,
nah.
no.
He's like, oh, you caught me by surprise.
See, here's the problem with JoJo. He's already a borderline superhuman.
Yeah.
Like, before he even got his stand, he was like throwing cars around and shit, and you know, he beat the tar out of 6 guys with nunchucks and knives, and I'm like, what? You're not human. You're like fucking Captain America, just running around like He's like the Tick, but with less humor and less morality.
Yeah.
He's just slapping people and throwing them away. I'm like, fuck out of here.
Sneaky.
Pow!
I like it.
He's like sneaky.
Gets hit with the grenade. Impolite.
Yeah, and he just flies backwards.
I love the Tick. How did today start? I'm gonna skip to a clip of this morning when we came in because it had been so hot at the con that we decided today we weren't going to bring our hoodies, we weren't going to bring anything extra, and it fucking poured.
Yo, this is Sunday morning at Comic-Con, and we are so It was so hot, we took our sweaters out of our bags. That was a mistake. So...
Like, I am so surprised. I when we walked into the con, I was honestly really upset for all the people who had white cosplays, especially girls, because they are now clear cosplays.
Yeah, it was pouring.
We were wet, and the dudes, they had the doors open, but they made us walk all the way in front of the building to the other side.
That goddamn rain.
I was like, "Come on, you have the door, just let us in, man."
Nope, doesn't work that way.
No. There weren't very many panels today that we cared about, but we did get into the gifted panel, and it had
pretty good.
Like pretty much all the main cast except for one or two people, and it was fun.
It was enjoyable. Like Gifted, I had doubts about Gifted. I thought that show was gonna get canceled immediately, but it looks like it's a solid setup. I don't know where they can go with this though. I don't see the end game. But for right now, the story they're trying to tell, it seems okay. Because the problem that we're facing now with The Gifted is it's kind of not a centralized story. There's no main bad guy to focus on. It's just really a shitty situation. So it's like... Because ultimately, even if they rescue Warner and get the kids and move shit around and all that, there's still... nothing has changed. There's still the anti-mutant laws, there's still all that bad, like, there's nothing that moves the needle forward. So it's like they have to do something within the series, somewhere before the end of the first season, to change the circumstances of the show.
But the executive producer, question mark?
Jeff Loeb? Or the other guy?
No. You're thinking, he was the last guy to come in. It wasn't Jeff Loeb, because Jeff Loeb is old. I know that's rude, but
it's like Alan Wiseman or something like that.
One of them, he had a Trask Industries shirt on, and I was like, because there are in the first episode, well, even in the trailers, you saw those weird little pal-eyed robot things, and I was like, did he wear that on purpose?
Yeah, and it's interesting because they call the Mutant Police Sentinel Services, which I can't stand. It's too on the nose. Like, Wolverine and the X-Men have the best name for these people. They call them the MRD, Mutant Response Division. And it made the most sense because it's like an alphabet agency. And, you know, it sounds like it'd be something the government would run.
Yeah. I also, now that you said that, I'm like, what if they're the Mark whatever Sentinels that are actual people?
What do you mean? Like Bastion?
Like Prime Sentinels?
No. They're not intelligent enough for that. No.
Also, I don't think
that technology is way too far ahead. It'd be interesting if we did see actual Sentinels, but then I think that might burst their budget.
Yeah, but I have to say their special effects were real good.
No, because they went a little bit low key. If you think about it, it's like, have you seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with Ghost Rider? Ghost Rider looks so good, and then the rest of that season, their budget was gone, so everything was shoddy.
Well,
they blew their whole budget on Ghost Rider.
That too, but like the motion and stuff. Like when you watch the Tick, the CG is awful, god awful, but that fits into the universe.
Yeah, because it makes sense, because it's part of the comedy.
Yeah, but like whenever Polaris uses her power, like the posts that they add in looks gorgeous.
Yeah, they do a lot of good special effects. My only problem that I'm worried about is the budget for this show, because I don't know if they're gonna have the budget to do it. Because even if the show becomes successful and it gets renewed a couple of times, it's like, this show might be canceled on budget. That's how a lot of shows on Netflix die out. Netflix shows get canceled on budget. Like, they canceled Sense8. Sense8, it's really funny because there's a huge community for Sense8. They fucking love Sense8.
People love Sense8.
They were watching Sense8 multiple times. The show still got canceled. It got canceled because the budget was out of control for that show. That show shot on 7 different continents all around the year at different times of the year, had massive fucking production crews. Like that show was running into fucking Lord of the Rings money. They had to cancel that show quickly. He's like, nah, we'll give you a second season, we'll give you a final 2-hour movie to end it. That's it, you're done. We can't do this no more. This shit is at Lord of the Rings level. Lord of the Rings is one of the most expensive fucking movie series ever made.
Why your Netflix subscriptions are going up.
Yeah, that's why this shit is like $15 now. That reminds me, I gotta fucking do the tally for all of my subscriptions to see how much everything costs.
He got into Verve. We went to the Verve booth, which was oddly enough right next to Funimation. You know,
yeah, no, because Verve is Funimation is a part of Verve.
Yeah.
That's why.
I find it weird that it's like they put all all the major competitors for anime watching subscription services are all in the Verve subscription.
Except for Amazon, which is trying desperately to break in. Amazon and Netflix are desperately trying to break in. Netflix is actually doing a good job. Amazon is not.
But if any of you guys out there have Verve or have tried Verve, let us know what you think about it.
Verve is like what, $10, and then a Crunchyroll subscription is $7.99, and then fucking Funimation is $7.99. And then you get like other shows like Cartoon Hangover. Like everything Verve has is animation based, so it's like it makes me want to just dive in. Like after I tally up how much I'm spending monthly on content, I'll see. Like if it's under $100, I'll go in. If it's under $50, I'm definitely going in.
Fair.
I'll let you know what I find.
Yeah, please do. And you guys too, out there. What else did we do Sunday?
We did a lot of show floor walking and checking things out.
I just moved the camera a little.
We bought on Sunday. We bought a lot of prints and stuff like that, and seeing how things worked out. We played more Dragon Ball Fighters. I got my ass whipped. I got a little bit better, but I still got my ass whipped.
He used Sparking and destroyed my Vegeta
without even knowing I was doing it.
And then at the end, when I was about to use Sparking, I was like, "You should use." Wait, yours is gone. I was like, "Oh, that's what happened to my Vegeta. He got wrecked."
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder if Sparking has some kind of like X Factor like ability where it depends on how many characters you have left.
My problem with Dragon Ball Fighters, as far as I look, is they might need to alter the damage values a little bit on some of those supers and make them feel like they've got more impact or more meaningful, and make them cost more or something, so that we're not seeing the screen flooded with shit all the time. Like Vegeta has like a fucking laser that eats the screen. It eats the screen. Like, you think Iron Man's Ray Beam from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was bad? This laser eats the screen. You see Vegeta in one corner of the screen, and then 80% of the screen is gone in a yellow laser. And I was like, what the fuck? I can't even see my character. I just see the damage numbers going up. Like, it was insane.
I definitely got a better feel from it. And I mean, it's already been said that Dragon Ball FighterZ, like, the animation is 1-to-1 for the manga, the anime animation, and like scenes from the manga. Like it's it's beautiful.
It's one of those things where I'm looking at. Yes, the game is very pretty. It's one of those things where I'm looking at the game. I'm not entirely sold on the game, but I was never a super like huge Dragon Ball Z video game guy. But
you're gonna get me.
You know, Dower and Okami love it, so I don't know if they get it. Maybe I'll jump into it. You know, I'm the only guy that's up on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I think it's got good fighting, and the fighting feels good. Everything else about the game is terrible, but maybe that'll get better over time if they keep patching it and adding DLC like they've been doing for Street Fighter V. So, you know, there's always room for improvement, and if they treat the game like a service like they've been doing with Street Fighter V, we could see a much better product a year from now. You know, when it's worth it to jump back in.
After they've released the arcade edition with Season 1 and 2 DLC, then maybe I'll check it out. Well, I mean, once Venom comes out, I'm going to need someone I know to have the game so I can play Venom. Because I think that will be what pushes me over the edge and whether or not I'm going to get it.
Because the game feels good. We played the game and we did have fun.
Yeah.
You know, especially with the Infinity Stones and doing dance. You know, he fucking hates me because he called, when the game was first announced, he immediately called out. He said, "Fuck you, Grim, because I already know you're going to use the life gem and start healing all your health back." And that is the first fucking thing I did. I got the soul gem and revived my character.
Oh, that was the soul gem?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why my character came back from the dead. I was like, ah! I was waiting for you to kill him, and then I sandwiched your guy in. I fucked him up.
I went with the reality gem just for that little reality fireball because I was trying to test out Black Panther, and I know Black Panther doesn't have any projectiles, which is stupid, so I gave him a projectile.
Yeah.
But the reality gem, I almost said reality marble. No, wrong universe. The reality gems, what is it called? Infinity Burst, I think?
Infinity Storm.
Infinity Storm is weird because it either makes projectiles or like causes frost on the floor.
Yeah, but it's actually moving.
Like,
It probably
but you
does other
can't
shit.
control it. Like, I was trying to like see what the timing was, like if it was timed or if it was by my button presses. It seemed to be random.
This is throwing a bunch of shit at you.
Yeah, I was like, I wish I could control it better.
I don't know, I did not intend something about my character.
And you had like pretty considerable health when you came back.
Yeah. The problem is both characters are out on the screen at the same time, so as soon as he comes back, if you manage to get like a happy birthday, you can like fucking annihilate that character very quickly.
Did you have to hit assist to switch between them? Because it seemed like even though you were controlling both of them, like one had more control.
Yeah, no, because the one that I was directly controlling at the time of it is the one that stayed out there. I don't know if I can switch back.
Okay.
Until the Infinity Stone is over.
But there's still stuff we gotta learn. The other games they had that we didn't play were Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I really wanted to try.
I don't think it's the newest one.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
I really wanted to try that, but there just was not enough time. Every time we went over there were like 100 people sitting on that thing.
There was Code Vein, we already said, which actually didn't have that big a line, but we just didn't. We weren't.
I'm not interested in Dark Souls like games.
There was Ni no Kuni 2, and then they had one booth for Dragon Ball Universe 2. And I'm like, I don't think they need to push that anymore. But they were advertising Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, whatever the sequel is, and the the new .hack GU game. Which I don't know which one that is. I don't know if it's the remakes, if it's the weird fighting game that they're going to bring over. Because like in the States we got Tekken Hybrid a while back, which was a movie and a game in one package. There's a .hack movie and game in one package, and the game is like a really bare bones fighting game.
Oh god.
I think it's actually made in the same engine as the Ultimate Ninja Storm game. But it only had like 8 characters, ? And there were 3 different kites, so I was like, what?
What the fuck is the point?
They literally all fight the same. They're the same damn character. Except the corrupted one. The corrupted one fights with like one new move. Ooh.
More or less.
But yeah, that was pretty much our Comic-Con experience this year.
It was damn fun. We're gonna probably try and do it again next year.
We just hope everyone doesn't bail on us at the end for our dinner.
Yeah, I've been talking to Okami and Bauer, and you came to the realization we've been doing this shit for almost 10 years.
Yeah, you bailing on us, crazy Kenbei. Yeah.
Kenbei and Lisa, I guess, was one of them.
My waifu.
Lisa, Chewy, I guess. 8 Chewy, I don't know. There's apparently a multiverse of 7 Chewies.
Apparently, it's really common for people with the last name Chew to call themselves Chewy. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but overall, I don't know when I started going to Comic-Con. I think 2011.
Probably 2012 for me, because I was in high school.
Because it was the year after we went the first time, and that was the 1 year. That was the 1 year we managed to convince Keanu Knox to come with us. And he has not come ever since.
I mean, part of it is also that we don't want to take care of him. Because that boy don't plan for shit.
We did his Dower, but Dower's a little more capable. Dower's willing to spend money on ludicrously expensive food.
Oh my god, yeah, no.
Dower's willing to spend that $13 on that goddamn hamburger.
He was like, it's actually not that bad. Is it wrapped in gold? Because if not, I ain't
Is it wrapped in gold and giving you blowjobs? What the fuck do you need a $13 hamburger for?
Nah, bro, that ain't the hamburger thing. Nope.
Madness.
Don't do that to yourselves. Don't do it. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed. I know I didn't make a loop video like I usually do.
But that's coming up soon, because right now he's away from office, so to speak. Alright.
But we will
see you again.
If you guys were at Comic-Con, what were your experiences? What panels did you see? What panels do you hope to see next year? That's a good question.
Next year, I would like to see something from Gearbox, or maybe a Borderlands panel.
Oh, one thing we forgot to mention was Dead by Daylight was there again. They didn't have anything to hand out to the fans this year, but most of the dev team was there saying, I think the dev team is actually quite small, so it might have been the entire dev team.
I wanna see a Borderlands panel. I wanna see my fucking Warframe devs come back. I would like to see a traditional Cup of Joe panel, because the Cup of Joe panel we got to go to this Sunday. Because this was another panel that we went to this Sunday. This Cup of Joe, and traditionally that panel is Joe Quesada, a former editor-in-chief of Marvel, current Marvel chief of something or other. I have no idea what the fuck his new job title is, but it's something at Marvel. I think he's like the animation director. He was there. He generally hosts a panel of comic book writers and artists, and you get to go up and ask them whatever questions you want to ask them. This time he did something different. He did a one-on-one interview with a special guest. And the special guest was Charlie Cox, the actor who plays Matt Murdock, Daredevil, on Marvel's Daredevil. And it was quite entertaining, very funny. I was disappointed because it was not what I wanted. It was entertaining for everyone else and good, but I literally wanted to ask them questions. I wanted to ask writers and creators and the people at Marvel questions. You know, like this is a Comic-Con panel. You know what I mean? Like Comic-Con has become so many things over the years where it's like movies, TV, music. It's just a lot of cool shit. But you know, this was a panel that's legitimately for comic fans, and it's become something else now. So I'm a little sad by that, but change is inevitable. It's the spice of life. You can't run from it. You just have to accept it.
I think that this panel was super special though, because apparently Joe had been tweeting like teasers that something special was happening this time, and like literally no one in the audience knew that there was going to be a guest, and that guest happened to be Charlie Cox. So. Yeah,
so it was a very rare and fortunate thing for us. You know, we got to see the Daredevil out there up close, so it looked good.
I'm not actually drinking alcohol, just a water bottle, but I had it frozen, so it's wrapped in paper towels. Yeah. I'm not that much of a drunk.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I guess that's it for us, folks.
Yep, that's our Comic-Con 2017 vlog. Or I guess maybe a podcast or some shit.
Yeah. Grimjack, over and out.
Later.